Yeah, okay. There we go. Brad's chosen to be on the chosen to be on the other team, but he's hanging out with us. So you said it's only going to be you think?
Yeah, I guess so.
I haven't heard from Lexi, but I put her on your team because the other one filled up to 6. So she's the leftover.
Yeah, I don't know. I got an email from like a few people saying they're doing their internships and stuff today. Like it didn't work out. So
Okay. Yeah, I got some too. So well, we're recording. So this is Mari Carlson. Oh, and Sheila's with you. That's right. You told me. I'm like, when's Sheila? I'm Chris Nicholson, by the way. So I think everybody's here. We're recording. So I guess just lay it on them what you need them to have them do. You're muted.
For goodness sake. So we had a lot of ideas, but you said part of this would also be like teasing out from us what is doable and reasonable.
Yeah.
So let Sheila like throw a bunch of stuff out that we talked about, and then you start asking questions and just sort of pick out it. I guess our idea was sort of there's like core that you think we can do and have happen, and then on top of that will just be bonuses and extras. So we have a lot of different ideas.
Okay. I think you should present to them first, and then they can ask you questions. And I'll kind of like, unless there's some important thing I think needs to be said, I'll butt in with that. But I'll just let you all hammer it out between you. Because that's how it's supposed to work.
like, well, I was going to say too, that like what I'm doing for my internship right now is making a website for somewhere, and it's hard for me to get enough ideas from him to get a real idea of what he wants. So like maybe the problem you're saying isn't actually as much of an issue as you think it is. I was going to say that to at least make you feel better about it.
Well,
Important idea.
so the basics is we are realtors. We have a lot of different clients and a lot of different tasks that we have to do throughout the day. I know that there are time, if you're billing by the hour or something, there are apps out there to do that. But we're actually also doing a whole lot of driving. So, things like tracking your mileage, perhaps allowing it to a client, automatically having that mileage turn on when you get in your car, so your app knows that you've gotten in the car. It'll track and log the mileage for you. You can easily, either at that time or maybe at the end of the week or some period, be able to allocate it. What else was there?
It's almost like having your employee time clock, but be able to record mileage and be able to record expenses. There are free apps that will do these things. Some of them do it better than others, and none of them is really doing it all in one simple place. Some of them go much further than what we would need in our case, because they're doing it for the trucking industry or for Uber Eats and these places that need to track a lot of data. We just want to basically be able to keep up with how much time we spend on each client, how much travel, so we can write off our taxes, and a quick place to drop in expenses when we're out running around, because we may have to stop and get gas, we may have to get something to eat. If you're me, you have to put a ridiculous number of tires on your car because I find every nail in town. And it's easy in our job to forget those things and get back to them later. So we're looking for that quick and easy. I opened one of the mileage apps the other day, because I keep downloading them and playing with them to see what works and doesn't. And it was a swipe right or swipe left for business or personal. And I thought, oh, well, that's so clever and easy and functional and, you know, much less complicated than open it up and then go here and click this and click that. And it just kept, I'll send you the name of it and you can play with it if it's something you guys want to. Because it just kept very nice little snippets of each of your drives. And then at the end of the day, I could go through and go, oh, that was when I went to the grocery store, personal, swipe the other way, that was drive to this house, it was business.
Yeah, so some of this is for, you know, maybe for ease of doing our taxes at the end of the year or the quarter, like keeping track of mileage, keeping track of expenses. Some of it is just stats that would be helpful for us specifically. We do not bill by the hour, but sometimes it's helpful to be reminded that we just spent 60 hours with a client that's not at a stage yet, or, you know, it just for us internally to sadly know what we make per hour at the end of the day kind of thing that we've spent. So to be able to do our own internal stats and our own internal tweaking of how we run our business. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's-
I mean, we could add a whole bunch of other things onto that if, you know, because there are so many things that go into a business. So we could get more detailed about what we could track or how we could track it.
But I think ease of use, something basic, simple, and easy to use to start with is the place to go.
Because just to throw this out there, when we first started talking about this, we work together and we help each other out. So at first we thought we would have something that could communicate not just what we're doing for ourselves, but communicate with the other person, have all the stats come together if we're working on a customer together. But I'm on Android and she's a Apple kind of person. So all of that stuff doesn't mesh well. So I think at least going back to the core, what we said already is the basics of what would be useful. Anything else on top of that would be gravy.
I mean, we might have a client that we spend 6 or 9 months with looking at homes. So it would be nice to be able to attach a client to every drive or address that we took them to. So at the end of it, I could go, okay, for Lee Min, I drove 762 miles and spent this much money.
And this much time, and I spent this much time on the road with them. I spent this much time in the office looking up. I spent this much time on contracts. I spent this much, you know, on different categories of what we're doing. Any questions?
Yeah.
Does that seem simple?
I'll help them get, I have a question for them, to present for them, I think. So it sounds like you need a mobile app of some sort. Okay.
Essentially. If it could be checked on our computers, that would be great, but I think it really has to be mobile because it has to come with us wherever we're going.
So I need a reminder from my students, Chris, that's Haley Ward. Chris, you're in my mobile class, right? This semester, and Ryan, are you? I was trying to remember if you were. Okay, and I know Lexi is. That's over half your team at least. So, I think it's something you could at least investigate doing in mobile, and you would want to look for a cross-platform. So not Android. There's ways to develop an app.
Would you
Both.
prefer us to have something that's only on for like a computer as opposed to mobile?
They have more experience with computer stuff right now, but I feel like mobile might be a good challenge for them too. I think it's something you'd have to hammer out with them. I'll let them talk. What do you got, Ryan?
No, I mean, I guess like depending on like all of us working together, I mean, I'm sure we could figure out how to do something. But yeah, like I just don't have a lot of experience doing the Android stuff yet, which like that there's only one way to learn it. So I mean, I'm up for it, you know.
So another thought that I had, because my brain's slow, but the more I sit here thinking about this, I will think of 50 things. And you talk about different platforms. A lot of these apps that I looked at require you to go to their internet site to like set up the clients. And then you can access them from the app. But if there's a way that we can just put our clients in to our contacts on our phone and then just grab that client and attach it in the app, that would be quick, that would be easy. And then we're not having to go multiple places and set them up in multiple different programs and have, you know, their personal information all over the world when we've already got it in our contacts anyway. Does that make sense?
That makes sense to me.
Right? So we'd open up the app, we'd go add new, you know, client, whatever our verbiage is going to be there, and just scroll through everybody in our contacts. So, you know, it'd be a two-step. We're looking for super easy. I already had to put them in my contacts. I need them there. And then there's not more stuff to store off somewhere on your side. And
Yeah, because the app doesn't necessarily need to store all of the contact information and I mean, we're not necessarily looking for something that would make a call through your app or anything like that. So as long as we could put a name as a category.
Right.
And then if you treat us like toddlers, where it's like you hit a big button and you swipe left or right, or, you know, there's 3 choices that we are, you know, running around doing 50 other things while we're getting in the car, or so very simple, like make it for a toddler.
well, and because you're looking at it on a phone, if it's super detailed and small and you're trying to blow it up and you're sitting there with clients and it's just, yeah, all gets awkward. So, I mean, really, ease of use is your #1 task, ease of use.
And if it's too easy, then, you know, we could always find other things to add on. That's not a problem.
Oh yeah, we can get into reports and reporting and all kinds of crazy stuff. But I think that that's a lot, right? Timesheet, mileage tracking. Like I see this as a multiple stage thing, probably.
They're not gonna run out of things to do for sure. So from what you said already, that's
Yeah.
probably, yeah.
So, and I don't know if there's one piece or part that's easier to focus on and start there. And then we'll just have to hire you later to do the rest.
There you go. I know in Android you get permissions for accessing the contacts, so that's something they could probably fairly easily learn how to do. But
Even if we just had to put in, you know, Sam Smith as our category, that's easy enough. Then once it's in there, we can choose them as our options of clients. Yeah, if you can get it to allow us to capture all that information, we would love for it to be able to poop out a report that analyzes that information. But, you know, that's later if you get that far.
yeah, are you guys getting what you need?
Do you have any questions?
Yeah.
Or, I mean, it's just
You need to come spend a day with us out on the road being realtors.
No, it's just funny to me because like this is exactly what I've been trying to get done with the person I'm doing the website for, and it just like hasn't worked out yet. So now it's
well, maybe you should switch and you'll do a website for us.
Yeah.
That would be
Yeah, I
so
mean,
much. Yeah.
really, that'd be great. No, I mean, I could like understand I mean, I guess like how it's all done. Now I just gotta figure out how to do it. I guess that's the thing. Like, I mean, I have like so much little. I wrote down like every little bullet thing. It's like, I mean, I understand what you. I mean,
Yeah, like
you have a pretty good
every
idea.
minute of the day from 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock and really longer than that, if we were able to account for what we did and allocate it to a category that we were able to make, by the end of the day, we'd be able to say, I spent 8 hours doing this, and we would be able to know. Because it would be so simple to open up the app, choose something and switch from one thing to another.
So I'm gonna help out a little more here, because my previous team, they had the things that the client was talking about as requirements, they had a little bit of knowledge already about. So this is like a mobile thing just to help out. So it sounds like you need location tracking. So Mar, are you gonna have your
When
location
driving,
tracking?
when driving,
Yeah, okay. So you're gonna have your location tracking on.
not
And your
all the
tinfoil
time.
hat, okay. But so that's something they would have to like learn about for mobile apps, like how to access that and track it. And that's something that can be done because I've been doing it, as you know. So yeah, and then accessing the contacts to pull them into the app to put like the data under that name, right? For what
So, but
task you're doing.
selectively, because we wouldn't have like 1,000 contacts into the app, just,
Oh yeah, no,
yeah.
they would be able to pull in, like access the contact. You would be able to access the contacts
Just
and
pick
pick
one.
which one you want. Yeah. So to the team, I'll try to like give you a little bit of guidance on the mobile stuff because I know it's new to you. I mean, you are starting out and you're learning about mobile now, but some of these particular topics will be kind of on the side, but there is also some database stuff you'll be learning that can help out with this part of the class. So yeah, but make sure you ask all the questions you need to.
We're thinking wheels are turning. I can see
Yeah,
it.
I mean,
We do only have 40
Uh-huh.
minutes, so it might cut out on us. I don't know when, but I just want to say I can create a Microsoft Teams for you because Mari could be part of that because she has a PSCC account right now. And then she can bring Sheila in the loop on that. I'm not sure about, and you guys could always have like a Slack team separate from that too, if you wanted to. So that way you could shoot questions whenever you have them in a chat kind of format and attach
I
files.
don't know how to use Slack, but I'm willing to learn if that's something you want us to use.
Okay. And you know how to use Teams though, right? Like and the chat features in Teams.
I'll ask you if I get lost.
Okay, I'll make a Teams for you guys at least to begin with.
Wait, but can Sheila use that?
She wouldn't be able to use it directly. She'd have to have a Pellsippi account. But
Okay, I'll relay.
you would
stuff
all
to
be
her.
able to use Slack though. I could maybe,
Okay,
yeah. Do you guys know how to use Slack? Kinda, okay.
I mean, we've used
Just
it in
do that.
class or whatever. Like we've used
Yeah.
it before in class. So, yeah.
Maybe we can just do that instead. But I'll set up either one. Yeah, with Slack, Sheila could be involved too. It's just a chat app where you can attach files and stuff.
That'll be good. Well, and since I did have some time this week and I did start kind of pulling down some of these other apps to play with them and just see what's really out there and their free versions and paid versions and get a better feel, then I can make some notes.
See,
about
that's a good question then, is what's some of the stuff you've been using? Do you know the names of it?
I've been using
Like someone-
Toggle.
Toggle.
Toggle was one of them. So Milo is I think my favorite, but it doesn't do everything. But I like the layout. It's very, very user friendly.
I mean, and if, this is maybe too much, if with the app, there's a widget that could just live on our home screen to make it easy to switch, that would be great too. But again, gravy, I think. Did I cut you off? I'm sorry.
No, I was trying to remember the names of some of these other, I looked at a ton of them the other day. I will make a list of the apps that I
Okay.
downloaded and what I liked or didn't like. And a lot of it was that there were almost too many features. There was a lot there that we would never use or didn't need that cluttered up the screen from this idea that I have of just a really basic screen and being able to click on Sally Smith and see all the homes that I took Sally to. Just clean and basic. And they're trying to appeal to a whole lot of different industries. So they're having to add all these things in that we don't necessarily need. And then to be able to get a time tracker in there along with this would be amazing.
Because I do like Toggle a lot. The interface, I think it's mostly for people that need to have billable hours, because that is a category. Is it billable or non-billable? It's for people that are sitting at their desk because it's kind of small and detailed in a lot of categories. But I like some of their reports. You can see what you've done during the week or during the month, and it's graphically. So it's color coded and things like that. I like it being color coded so that even if I can't see a name, I know blue is Sam and red is, whoever. And those match up to the graphs that tell you who you've spent time with during the week, or the month. And again, the interface for Toggle is detailed, more detailed than we need, and small.
You taking notes, Haley?
I am too. I mean, we'll do some homework on this too, to be able to give you better examples. We'll take some screenshots, put them in the note, send it over to you on what are we, Slack? I don't know Slack
Yeah,
either, but
whatever.
we'll stumble around and figure it out.
And if it's easy to, on Slack, if that's what we're doing, if you have questions for us, like what did you mean by this vague thing you talked about? I mean,
I know you probably get in the zone and start working on this stuff, and then you'll need an answer quick. And the good news is, in our job, we have to answer
we're
quickly.
always, yeah.
So, shoot us the quick message and we'll get back to you pretty fast.
Yeah. So Chris, as long as Slack or whatever acts sort of like a text message, because
Yeah,
Pavlovian, I hear a text message and I'm like, I gotta look at my phone.
yeah, it'll give you
So
notifications, yeah.
As long as it does that, we should get back to you fairly quickly, or, or at least to say like, oh, we'll talk about this and get back to you, and then we'll confer and get back to you, but we'll get on it, I know you have a deadline.
Right.
And this is a hard and fast deadline, so we want you
Yeah, the
to
end of
do
the
well.
semester,
We will
yeah.
try to help you do well.
We can see how far they get in the process anyway. It's more about the process than, obviously it'd be great if we get the final product at the end, and that'll be the goal. But as long as they get through the process.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we understand that, and we'd be happy to help you if you need feedback from us or something, questions answered.
Well, since they're not asking a whole lot of questions, and we can
Nope.
do that on Slack, and we have a time limit, and I think Zoom just kind of cuts out, doesn't it? It doesn't warn you. 10 minutes. No, never. We got 10 minutes. We got 10 minutes. So yeah, go ahead,
Hey, I'm Chris, not Haley. It's my wife.
Chris. Yeah.
So we want a mobile app to keep hours, time and expenses, and
Mileage?
location traffic, while driving specifically, and like per diem and travel expenses per each client, right? Is that what I'm hearing? Like spent.
Yeah, that we could categorize it into.
Sally Smith's cottage that she wants to buy. We want to be able to have a widget, would be nice, but more importantly, to be able to associate a client with maybe a color-coded scheme like the previous app that way you could see your day blocked out already. Like when you open said app, you like I'm picturing like how the Google Calendar works, where you can set different meeting times, like 11:30 orange for whoever to go see in halls, and then 12:30 lunch break, and then so on and so forth.
So that would be a bonus, but what we're really looking for is real time and then the past, because in our business, we could think that we're going to be doing something for the next 2 hours, but it'll change and we will be doing nothing that we planned on. And so if we're able to track that, and that's what we are asking you to do, help us track what we've done. So by the end of the day, we don't go, I haven't sat down all day, but what did I do? I have no idea what I did. So if it's easy for us in real time to track it, to allocate it,
Okay.
and then you help us with the turn on the GPS and automatically track when we say, get in the car.
So just to help clarify with them, it sounds like the starting place would be toggle it on, start a timer for a certain client, and then toggle off. Be able to quickly toggle on, toggle off, starting there. And then iteratively, they could add in the mileage with the GPS, figure out how to do that, and then build from there, then add the widget. But just start like a starting place. Would it be a good, starting place to where you can say, okay, I need to start the timer for this client, and then I need to stop the timer for this client.
And so in theory, I would like
I'll
to
let
be
you
able to,
talk.
I mean, I'd like to hit the button and say, I'm going to see Sam. And then I stop Sam and I immediately hit another button because I'm on my way to go see Sandy or whatever. So we're hitting just going back and forth because all day we're running around, but to allocate time to something. So yes, hitting a button and going on and off. Yeah, that's the basics, the basics that I think everything else.
Yeah, because that helped me a lot when you said like real time and in the past. So like what we're looking for is like the recording of something and not like the planning and the scheduling of it. So like
Correct.
I get exactly what okay.
Yes, we write out calendars. Yeah.
We're helpful.
We write out calendars in detail all the time, and our calendar by 10 o'clock every morning is shot. It just doesn't work. And so, yes, you are correct.
Yeah, because I guess like sort of what I'm picturing is just like little snippets of time that are just sort of like taken and then like put towards like a certain person. I remember he mentioned something about like database stuff. So it's like figuring out a specific period of time, how long it is, and then putting it on so and so's little like numbers. Like I get it. So like the amount of notes I have to like, I mean, they're good, but I don't know. It's just I've written down like, make it simple like a toddler and what to track and how to track it. 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. I don't know. It's a lot of stuff, but
Real basic.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, you might have like some more good questions, but I guess that's really, I get it.
So what I could do is set up the Slack, and what I need from the team. So make sure you communicate this to the rest of the team. Just send me your preferred email. It doesn't necessarily have to be your school account that you can set up Slack on, whatever you're going to have like on your phone, ideally, probably, though you can also use it on a computer with the same account. And I'll get it set up for everyone so that Mari can make sure I get Sheila's contact, and we'll set it up and test it out and make sure it's working. And that way you can share pictures, files, whatever through that. And of course chats. So
No, that sounds good. And we'll put together some more things, examples and things, and send them over to you too, which may just answer some of your questions as well.
Yeah. And just since I don't know how to use Slack yet, if I'm not responding to you guys through Slack, when you send me a message, let Chris know, and he'll hunt me down, because it just means that I'm not understanding how to use it. Not that I don't want to talk to you. Okay, so you can turn me into the teacher, and he will make sure that I get back to you.
All right, does anybody else in the meeting have any questions or thoughts or?
Think general idea of what we might begin to do. So yeah, once we have a way to communicate with one another, I think we'll probably have some more questions definitely for you guys. A little bit of an annoying amount probably too.
Bradley, you got any input to help the other team?
No, I don't have anything off the top of my head. I would if I would make sure at least one of your folks are, see if any of them are in the app development class, I'd say, because frankly I'd be a little bit intimidated too, because I'm just now getting into app development myself.
Yeah, the mobile app development, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think the comic group got a little bit lucky. We're just throwing together a web page.
Yeah. Okay, well, in that case, I'll let everybody go. I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much, Mari and Sheila.
Thank you.
All right. And I'll let Mari I'll connect to the students, and Mari can probably let you know about the Slack thing.
All right, well,
Okay.
thank you. It's been fun.
right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Oh, Ryan, did you want to, I'll start another meeting for you if you want.
Well, I mean, I don't really have, I mean, I'm just
Unless-
gonna install it and reinstall it at this point, but install like a older version, or like I'm about to just go buy another laptop. And see
Is
if
it your laptop? Is that what?
I don't
you
know,
want?
because I still have the same one from the school. So like I'm just gonna go buy one and see if that helps, really. Like,
The one from the school seems like it would be, if it's similar to mine, it seems like it should be able to handle
yeah,
it.
it's like a Dell something.
Is it the little skinny one? I mean,
Yeah,
small
it's
one?
Yeah, it's a little Dell something. Dell.
I think that's the one I got here.
Yeah.
It says Intel Core i7 in the lower right.
Yeah. Or it says Intel Core i5 on mine.
Still, I think it should be powerful enough to run it, but
I have so much stuff on this thing. Oh man. Like, I mean, I've got NetBeans, I've got
yeah.
Wireshark, I've got FileZilla, Packet Tracer, Web Server.
Oh,
I
this
mean,
is,
I have
hold
everything.
on, let me stop recording. I just realized I'm still recording.